Did you know that in Salem, Massachusetts, the frightened fits of a few young girls ignited one of the deadliest witch hunts in American history? A handful of screams, strange convulsions, and whispered accusations soon grew into a storm of hysteria that would leave 20 people dead and a town forever scarred. In January 1692, winter gripped the tiny Puritan settlement of Salem Village. Inside Reverend Samuel Parris's home, his daughter Betty, just 9 years old, began to thrash, scream, and speak in strange voices. Her cousin, Abigail Williams, soon followed. The local doctor had no explanation. His diagnosis was chilling: bewitchment. Fear spread like wildfire. In a deeply religious community, the devil was a constant threat. The minister warned, "Satan is among us." And so the children pointed fingers at women in the village. Sarah Good, a homeless beggar; Sarah Osborne, a woman who rarely attended church; and Tituba, Reverend Parris's enslaved woman. With those names spoken, the town's fate was sealed. At first people thought this madness would pass, but the girls' fits grew worse. They collapsed in courtrooms, screamed during prayers, and claimed to see specters, ghostly doubles, tormenting them. When Tituba was interrogated, she confessed, but not to what anyone expected. She told the court that witches walked among them, serving the devil. She spoke of black dogs, red cats, and a tall man in black who forced her to sign the devil's book. Her confession confirmed the villagers' worst fears. If witches could hide in plain sight, no one was safe. Now, neighbors accused neighbors. Friends turned on friends. A look, a dispute, even a rumor could condemn you. The first trial began in June 1692. Bridget Bishop, known for her bright clothing and tavern visits, was the first to be accused. The court saw her as sinful and doomed her to hang. Once her body swung from the gallows, Salem was consumed by hysteria. Accusations spread to respected church members, landowners, even the wife of the governor. Judges allowed spectral evidence, visions, dreams, and unseen spirits, as proof. Imagine standing in the courtroom, watching children collapse, screaming your name, while judges declare your silence a sign of guilt. For many, it was impossible to escape. By summer's end, Salem had become a place of terror. More than 200 were accused. Prisons overflowed. Chains rattled in the dark as entire families awaited trial. 19 were executed by hanging. And one man, Giles Corey, refused to plead. The court pressed him with heavy stones, demanding a confession. His only words, "More weight." He died beneath the crushing rocks, defiant to the end. The executions became a grim spectacle. Ministers prayed, crowds gathered, and the rope snapped. Every death fed the frenzy, convincing people the devil truly stalked Salem. But hysteria cannot last forever. When accusations reached the governor's own wife, doubts spread. Could it be that none of this was real? Ministers began to question the use of spectral evidence. Ordinary people whispered that innocent blood was being spilled. By October, Governor Phipps dissolved the special court. Trials stopped. Prisoners were released. But the damage was irreversible. When the madness ended, 20 people were dead, and countless lives destroyed. The soil of Salem still holds their memory. What began as the frightened cries of children became a storm of paranoia, fueled by fear, faith, and the human hunger for blame. And so Salem stands as a warning. That hysteria spreads faster than truth, that silence can sign your death warrant, and that sometimes the real monsters are not witches in the dark, but neighbors in the daylight. The Salem witch trials were not just a tragedy of the past. They are a reminder of how fragile reason can be when fear takes the stand.